What a mess! I have to do something about this. So I'm putting a countertop in my guest room, which is not hardly a guest room anymore. So it's become cluttered with eBay stuff that I've got listed. And it's also, I want this to be my art space, art studio type of thing. So I'm adding a 24-inch wide countertop. It's going to be 30 inches off the floor. It won't take up floor space, so for using this as a guest room, I'll still be able to get like a blow-up mattress in here and put up a couple guests that way. Or maybe, no, I don't think I have room for a futon even. I've got my desk over there. So yeah, blow-up mattress for guests, or I have my trailer as a little guest house too. My spare room will become kind of an eBay art room. I am adding a countertop to the small wall. I need a little more workspace instead of working on my kitchen counter. And I want the countertop to be 30 inches tall. That's kind of standard, I believe. It matches the desk I have in here. I have my 6-foot level in here, and that I measured up 29 1/4 on my back wall because the dog just tried to kill me. 29 1/4 because this is what I'm using for a countertop, and it's 3/4 inches thick. It was cheaper going this way than going with an actual Formica type of countertop. And the brackets I have, they have a notch for a 2x2, so they will go against the wall, butting up against the 2x2. I'm going to attach to the back of the wall at 29 1/4. And there's a product tag there. And I got those from Home Depot, and they're really a heavy metal. So I think since my wall is just 86 inches, this is a dinky room. 86 inches wide on that back wall. I think with the two of those, I have several places where there's studs every 2 feet. I've got one here, one here, and there's one over here. And then there's two on the wall that 2x2s will tap into where the studs are on that wall. When you're working with a fairly long length, I really recommend a long level. You'll be much more accurate. And this is a 6-foot level, which is 72 inches. A 4-foot level would work just fine there too. This is moving along pretty quickly. Now those two, because I'm into the studs, it's not even, but I do have a stud available right here. And I could either I might do like shelves under that end, underneath the countertop, and that would provide more support there too. I would do a couple uprights. Or I could get another bracket, but I'm thinking shelves would work pretty good. Now you see how I work here? I don't have an exact plan until I do something. But I knew I'd need at least 2 of these brackets. These brackets were $26 each. So I'm thinking I'd rather go with shelves than get another bracket. But they're super strong once that countertop's on them. And I don't care about the paint on that side. I'm going to touch up some paint that you can see once the counter's on. I use 3-inch screws. I pre-drilled, used 3-inch screws through the boards into the studs. Where there wasn't a stud, I just put a 2-inch in there just to give it just a little bit. It's just 1/2 inch into the drywall, but there was nothing behind it anyway. I did put some construction adhesive behind this in every few inches It's probably 50% coverage overall on average. And that will just give it a little bit more chance of not shifting. Now that piece will go there. And I have 2 studs that's gonna end up being in, and the same on this end, there'll be 2 studs that I can screw into. So I've got a lot of support right into the studs. So I think that's going to work pretty well. Remember, pre-drill before you screw through boards and you won't have any splitting. And now I have the side brackets on each end. I have 2 spots in there that are into studs right here and here, and this one is toe nailed in at an angle. And I used the drill, once I had these 2 fastened, I used the drill, and I wanted this to line up flat because it was sticking up a little, and that'll give it a little extra strength. There is glue behind this also. And on this one, I was afraid I was only going to hit a stud here, and I had a stud marked here, but it's not reaching that far. But when I drilled a hole here, I discovered it hit a stud. So that was perfect. And I think I will put shelves there in that corner, and that will add a little more support with uprights. If I do like foot deep shelves, I can do an upright. Actually, I have a stud right here. So I'll probably do a 2x2 upright, and then one over here. I might close that off with a solid board so you don't really see what's on the shelves. So I think I'm ready. Oh, one more thing I did, I put 1/2 inch by 2 inch, or it's close to 2 inch, on the back there because my board here is not quite 24 inches wide, and my brackets here do come out to be 24 inches from the wall to here. So that's just gonna bump out the countertop a little bit, and that'll give it plenty of support still on the edge. If I ever need to, I could still add angle brackets if I needed a little more strength. But I think it's gonna work pretty good. So next step is getting the countertop lifted onto there. We'll see if I can do that myself. Oh boy, that was the hardest part of the job, is getting the board when it's the same length as the wall. It doesn't just go in real easy, and there was trim in the way. But let me show you. I got it on there. I used the step stool and this chair, which was nice because it rolled. So it's pretty much what I expected. My wall is crooked, so there is a gap here. But what I have outside is a piece of crown mold. I'm going to see if I'm going to see how that'll fit. It's really wide, and it's designed to put on at an angle. But I'll see how that'll work here. I can paint it white, or maybe leave it. It's kind of an oak color. I'll see how that works. It's just something I have that I probably will never use for anything. So that might be it. So you can see underneath. And the holes in those brackets is to put cords through. I've got the electrical outlet right there, which is really handy. I could put a hole in the back somewhere and run, like they do a desk, put a hole in the back of the countertop and run the cords up through it. But I'm not sure yet on that because I may not have permanent cords there very much. I think this will work nicely as a nice work area. And I can just sit in my chair and reach it easy. So I'll say bye for now. This is Cindy from Bosi Creative Living. Please like, subscribe, share it with your friends if you think it'll help them build something. Yeah, one-person project, and it didn't take very long. The countertop piece of shelf was like $33, which is why a countertop, an actual kitchen type of countertop, which would have looked beautiful, but that was $125. So I went with this type for $33. The brackets were $26 each. There's Lily. Lily's checking it out. All right, so bye for now. Thanks for watching. Lily, were you the supervisor? Did you supervise me on that project? You were a big help. Yes, you were. That's a good girl.